Right, I can see a few of you coming in now. So, hello, evening all. Lee Ashby here, Motocross and Spear Memories. I will just get into my thank yous for a second, and then I'll bring my guest in. Yo, Steve Luxton. He's put my boy Brad. Right, I'll get into my thank yous while you were all coming in. Right, big thanks to the support to Simon Pardo of White Eagle Finance. They give quality financial advice for pensions, mortgages, investments, and protection. Check the website out at www.whiteeaglefinance.co.uk. You can quote myself or Motocross and Spear Memories for free advice with Simon, so you can check that out. Big thanks to the legend, Mr. Stefan Everts, with his S72 gin and vodka brand. Check out his website on www.s72gin.com. Big thanks to Lee Owen of Owen Developments. They specialise in turbochargers to a global customer base, covering motorsport, performance and aftermarket OEM sectors. Check his shop site out at www.owenturbos.com. Also his other website, www.owendevelopments.co.uk. Big thanks to Terry Smith from Swindon with his painting and decorating. You can call him on 079 615 37505 for any of your decorating and painting needs in the Swindon Southwest area. Big thanks to Craig Triplett of Jardine Conservatories. You can check them guys out at www.jardineintelford.co.uk. Also, a big thanks to Steve Irwin, who's sorted me out with these two beauty pictures behind me, Bruce Pennell and Eric Gunderson there. You can check him out. He does all the prints of all the top guys. You can check that guy out, Mr. Irwin, on Facebook. Right then, people, I can see plenty of you in here. How's it going, Craig? Nicky Ayres, my Panthers man. Right, here we go then. I'll get the video going for you guys. Here we go. Get into these. Here he is.
That was cool, man.
Bradley WilsonDean. How's it going, buddy?
How are you? All good? Yeah.
Not bad. Thanks very much.
I like the little slideshow you made. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that photo of me pulling the finger. It was one of my mates, and we do it to each other all the time. And I've done it to him maybe 5-10 times, and a photographer finally caught me pulling the finger at him. So that's one of my favourite photos there.
Yeah, as soon as I spotted it, buddy, I thought, I'm using that.
Yeah.
Got to use that, mate. Got to use that. Right, there's loads of people all coming in saying evening. Evening, Richard. Evening, Barry Young. Evening, Richard. Evening, Sean. How's it going? All good. Yay, my Panthers man, Nicky Ayres. Craig Triplett, how's it going? Steve Luxton, my boy Brad. 100%. Right. So, Bradley, what's the latest? What's going on with you? What's the plans for this year, etc.?
Yeah, so I'm planning on coming over 25th of April. I'll be over in the UK. I've got the Grand Prix qualifier in Glasgow on the 29th of May. And then my plan is to just see how things are with COVID once I'm there. I've not signed with any clubs or anything like that. I've had plenty of offers. We had maybe 7 or 8 different teams approach me, and I had to say to all of them, like, I can't commit because if I do and then I come over and things with COVID don't go good, then I'm committed and I'm stuck there, and I don't want to be I didn't want to be a part of that if things with COVID don't go well. So fingers crossed they do. And once I get there, things will be good and I'll be able to get into a team. But I've kind of given myself that option, you know, if things aren't good, then I can do my own thing. The plan will be to go to America with my dad and buy some motocross bikes. And if not, I'll be racing Speedway in England. So we're just waiting to see what happens, really.
So it's a little bit up in the air for you at the minute, then.
Yeah, just want to keep my options open and not. I couldn't sign for a team and then things don't go good, and then I say, and then I just turn around and say, "Oh, I'm going home." You know, I don't want to commit to a club and then let them down, let the fans down, let myself down. So I've given myself a bit of time just to see how things go first. I think it's better to do it that way. You know, if I was in England, then it'd be a different story. You know, if I was living there, like a, you know, all of the English boys and that, it would be a different story. But with how good things are in New Zealand as well, you know, there's no lockdown here. It's life as normal. It's been life as normal for nearly a year.
Yeah, I was going to say, how long have you been there now? How long have you been there now, mate? Back home?
September 2019. So I broke my collarbone at Bellevue in June 2019 in Heat 15 up there. And broke my collarbone there, Heat 15 at Bellevue in June. And came back in September and been here since. Just at home, working on motorbikes, restoring old motorbikes and cars and workshop machinery and anything really. Just restored a lawnmower the other day. Anything old. I just like bringing old
retro.
stuff.
You like retro?
Yeah. I like the old stuff, And the old motocross bikes, and I've been racing a bit of VMX, vintage motocross. I was leading the series for the pre-78. I was leading that series, but I've missed the last couple of rounds being away for Speedway, and I've just bought another VMX bike. So next year, hopefully I'll do the whole series and try and take that one out. That'd be quite cool.
So do you like the old? Obviously, did you do the motocross when you was younger, or
yeah? So I did I did motocross when I was younger. I was New Zealand champ when I was younger, and then when I was 11, I come home from school one day and my dad had a Speedway bike there, a little XR 125 powered junior Speedway bike. And I've still got it, actually. I've still got my first Speedway bike. Wow, nice. And I said, wow, what's that? And he said, that's yours. You're going to ride Speedway. And I think from just about that day on, I never rode motocross again, maybe 3 or 4 times since then up until the last few years. I don't think we probably didn't have the money to do both back then. And I'd grown up watching my dad race Speedway, and that was what I wanted to do. We'd been so into motocross my whole life, and then as soon as I had my eyes on that little Speedway bike, that was it. It was like I didn't need the motocross bikes anymore. I had one goal in mind, and I always wanted to go to England and be a Speedway rider and race in a team. And I used to have dreams about it. I'd wake up in the morning and be all disappointed because it was a dream. I used to be quite into motocross growing up. I raced motocross since I was 4. I raced motocross since I was 4 until I was 11, 12. And I still got my old motocross bike here as well, my KX85, which was my last bike. We always kept that as well. So wow. My dad's a bit of a hoarder. We seem to keep We seem
Love
to keep
that.
everything.
I love
We just
that.
keep accumulating more bikes. So,
Yeah, I wish I
he
had
never
some
gets
bikes.
rid
I
of
still.
anything. Yeah, which is a good thing. You know, I got both of my Speedway bikes. I got my old motocross bike, and a heck of a lot more as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why people enjoy these sort of things, because it's bringing up the memories and people reminiscing. It definitely goes down well with everyone.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, nah, it's awesome.
Love this. I loving the old Fox kit and all that on there.
Yeah, I just need the pants. I
I
need
just
the
think it's
pants somewhere. I got the MSR pants, but they almost match. So that's some of my dad's old gear. He
is it?
Yeah, he used to ride in that. 30 years ago.
Wow.
So I got
Brilliant.
the MSR pants, the Fox shirt. I've even got a retro body chest protector under there.
Have you?
Got the old school helmet condom on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember using some of them in the 90s. I remember.
Oh, it's so handy. You don't
Yeah.
have to watch your helmet afterwards. It's great.
I know. I remember going out in practice when it was muddy doing that. I'm going to wear that so I don't have to mess about with it.
Yeah.
I think I had a skeleton and something else, and there's a few of them, weren't there?
Yeah. And they used to have the goggles. You remember the goggles with like the monster eyes on them and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They were pretty
On the
popular.
mirrors. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the mirror lens.
Yeah, you can't
That's
get them
brilliant,
anymore.
mate. No, I love that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant, mate. So, who were your sort of heroes when you were growing up as a youngster then? Like, as in, did you have heroes in the motocross side or the Speedway side, or what did you see from over there, not in obviously New Zealand?
Yeah, to be honest, I never grew up watching Speedway or motocross on telly, anything like that. It was always, I only saw what my dad done, really. Racing Speedway, and when I was a kid, he used to do a lot of the winning here, so it was always my dad growing up. I thought he was the man in Speedway, and then I remember an international team of riders came over. It was like Glenn Phillips, Andrew Appleton, the Collins boys. Lee Richardson. I can't remember who else, but they came over, and I think I might have said to my dad, he said he used to always say to me, who's the fastest Speedway rider in the world? And I would always say, you are, or something like that. And all these guys come over, and he asked me one day, and I said, I think I said Andy Appleton. He said, who's the fastest Speedway rider in the world? I said, Andy Appleton. Yeah. So, I never really had any type of heroes growing up. Obviously, Ivan, Ronnie, Barry, they're the ones that you learn about when you're a kid in New Zealand Speedway. And I used to go to Ivan's training schools and that sort of thing. So my dad and Ivan. I always used to enjoy going to Ivan's schools, and I probably didn't listen to a lot of what he was saying. I was just enjoying being around him. And he was friends of the family as well with my granddad, and so those sort of guys. I've had a bit of help from Barry and Tony Briggs over the years. Tony helped me out when I went to Sweden for the World Under 17 250 Championship, and got to know the Briggs family a little bit better. But yeah, like I say, I never really watched Speedway or motocross. I didn't know about Grand Prix or nothing like that. I didn't even know what that was. I just wanted to ride Speedway. I never learned or anything about international Speedway. All I knew was that they race Speedway in England, and yeah.
So how did you sort of come sort of to the situation then, or the sort of where you were obviously in New Zealand, you're thinking you want to race as a speedway rider, so obviously you're thinking about coming to Europe. how old were you when you were sort of thinking, can I go over there, make it a career and that sort of thing?
Probably when I was 15, 16, you know, around the age that I stepped up to the 500. That was probably when I started, you know, taking it a bit more seriously and thinking, you know, I was just a kid before then. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about riding on a Sunday with my mates. That was what it was all about to me. But, you know, once I started learning a bit more, and that's my first time riding a 500 right there. I think I was 14 or 15. Maybe I was 14 there. Yeah. I would have been 14. I've still got all of that gear. I've got the helmet just hanging up over there, and the race suit, and that was one of the race suits my dad made. So when I was about 15, 16, that's when I started really thinking, and I started chatting to the Duggards, Connor Dugard on Facebook, and my dad knew Martin, so Connor and I started talking, and when they dropped down from the Elite League, they messaged me and said, do you want to come and ride for our National League team? We think we can get you in, and having a British grandmother, that got me in there, and it was all go from there. And they'd sent me a contract years before then as well. I don't know if I ever signed it. I don't remember. But they'd sent me a contract when I was 16, maybe. Yeah.
That must have been quite exciting then, was it?
Yeah, for sure. I probably didn't know what it meant, but yeah. Yeah.
Said Speedway on it, so that was all good.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't care who.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of pictures here.
Yep.
Yeah, carry on. So go on, mate.
Oh yeah, no, it's just like I was saying before. I always remember having dreams of racing in England. I remember this dream I had that I was racing in England for Wolverhampton, and then I woke up and I was all gutted that it was a dream. You know, like
that's brilliant.
It was definitely something I really thought
so you
about.
Were proper, yeah.
That last photo that was that was at Costa Mesa.
In America, yeah.
Yeah, we went there when I was 14. That's on Sean McConnell, Mad Dog McConnell.
Oh yeah, actually, now you say that, I recognise the bike, the kit, and the livery of it. Yeah.
That was one of his little super little speedway bikes. It was tiny, but it was awesome, you know. And then we were there. We turned up. That was the first time I rode in America, and there's a female speedway rider from New Zealand called Kim Stevens. She lives up around Auckland, I think, and we're in the pits setting up, and Kim Stevens walks past in all her gear, and she's riding, and we're like, bloody hell, what are you doing here? Like, yeah, it was just crazy. There's Kim Stevens that we race with in Auckland, and she's at Costa Mesa.
She's in the same place as you.
What are you doing? What are you doing here? Yeah. I think she kept that one quiet that she used to go and ride over there because we didn't know about it. Yeah, it's a small world. But that was cool. Awesome. That was awesome racing over there. Yeah, there's industry. Me and that's Max Rummel on the to my left. That's Max Rummel. And can't remember the other kid's name. He I don't think he rides anymore. But yeah. But yeah, that I made some good friendships over there with you know, all the junior kids, Max Rummel and Dylan Rummel, the Ramirez family. Who else? So long ago, 12 years ago now. But yeah, that was an awesome trip. Yeah, me on the junior. I was on my little 200. That was at a Ivan Major training school there. With the 2NZ on. That's Bradley Andrews. Rode for Craigley and Plymouth and wherever else. Bobby Andrews' grandson.
I see you got the number 53 on there. Then was that sort of a number that meant something to you, or?
That was my dad's number. So
Ah, right, okay.
be like dad. So
Yeah, exactly
when
that.
when I was 14, 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, when I started racing Speedway, my name was always Bradley Dean. That's my legal name. And I remember saying to my dad, how are people going to know that you're my dad? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, my name's Bradley Dean and your name's Wilson. So how are they going to know that you're my dad? And he was like, oh, I don't know. So from then on, I changed my name. I bought my next license as Bradley WilsonDean, and that's been my name ever since. So that's not even my name. I've just been calling myself that for 14, 13 years now. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, a lot
I
of
didn't know
people
that.
don't know.
I didn't
It's
know
not
that.
actually.
No, I didn't know that.
No, it's just Bradley Dean. It's my legal name. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Fun
Got
fact
to
for
have your dad in there. Yeah. I didn't know that myself either, so that's interesting.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I just got Stefani Attilia on YouTube. He's put Hailey and Bradley. Bradley, I don't know if you remember me in 2006. I was in the New Zealand tour with Bunyan, Phillips, etc.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad will he would remember him as well. I don't remember if that was the year that we went out to the beach and stayed at my grandparents' beach house at Karakau Beach. We went spearfishing for flounder. I remember all of the guys were there, but I can't remember if that was the year. Maybe it wasn't, but maybe it was. I don't know. Maybe he'll
come back
know.
up and tell us.
Yeah, I remember that Simone as well. I'm sure it was one of those two that we were out at that beach house with. So every year when the international tour was happening over here, we'd always host them for a night or two. I remember the last one. I think it was the last time that they came out. We had Jamie Courtney, Daniel Nurmark, Jesper Christensen, Richie Hawkins. That's all I can remember. Jason Bunyan. We had all of those guys. We had them staying the night. They'd raced at Miani at my local track. Yeah, they had. They'd raced at Miani at my local track. I hadn't ridden that night for whatever reason, and I was 15 or 16. We had all those guys staying, and that was probably around when I started, wanting to know about Speedway overseas and this and that. So they come back to stay at our house, and we're having this barbecue, and I was talking to Daniel Nurmark, and taking everything in that he was telling me, and asking all the questions and that, and Jamie Courtney as well. And we ended up, I think it was me and Jamie that stayed up until like 2 a.m. or something like that, 2, 3 a.m. Talking outside at the barbecue table, chatting about Speedway, and asking them all these questions and that. And they Danny Nurmark and Jamie were giving me all this advice on racing, and all that sort of thing, and I'm taking it all in, thinking it's great. So the following day we're racing at Gisborne Speedway, and it's a big clay track, mega banking on it, big, must be 400 meters.
Oh dear.
Clay track, concrete wall, no air fence, just a concrete wall, 400 meter banked up clay track. And there was all of those boys. Then there was Andrew Barge. I can't remember who else. It was all the top riders in New Zealand. It was a big meeting, and just spent the night before taking all this advice off of the boys, and they'd not seen me ride. And I went out there and whipped all of them and got second in the meeting. I think I was first on points, and I got second in the meeting to Andy Barge. And because I'd never ridden anything like that, the clay, you know, and that's what we had to learn on. That was all we had. So
Yeah.
I was kind of used to it. And yeah, I just remember whipping all of them, and Danny and Jamie just saying, "What the hell, man? Like, oh, you can ride." Like, they didn't know, and you know, we're up all night getting advice off them, and then I went and smoked them, and that was pretty cool for me.
Picking their brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet it was cool. Yeah,
that was like a highlight for me when I was a kid. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. I used to love those international guys come over. That was a highlight for New Zealand Speedway, and it's a shame we don't have that anymore. But it's just not really viable with the amount of tracks that we have and the amount of track time that we get. And it would be great to do something like that again in the future. I had Thomas Jorgensen come over a couple of years ago, and that was cool having him here. He broke his hand mountain biking and missed out on some racing. So, it's good having some more boys from overseas. You know, the level of Speedway in New Zealand isn't great, and when you have more guys like that to show the other guys what the level is, and give them someone to chase, that's always a good thing.
Stefani just put drinking party. He goes, "Oh, we got sunburned on the beach, and after we had to ride, and it was so painful."
Right on. Yeah, I'll tell my dad that we spoke.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember. I think they all raced at Palmerston North, and I was there watching. You know, I was only 7, 8, something like that. What did he say? 2000? What year did he say? 2000?
2006.
Oh, right on. So I would have been like 12. I don't know.
Yeah, he's put 2006 at all.
Probably got a photo somewhere of me with all of those guys.
Gary O'Hare's just said, "Hey Brad, hopefully see you soon."
Right on. Yeah. How are you, Gary? All good? Sweet. Yeah. See what he's doing with all his old
yes, he's got some nice bikes. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Eli Meadows has. Let's just put, "How's it going, Bradders?"
How are you, buddy? All good? Right on.
Oh, Richard's a bit gutted. Richard Vernon, he's a bit gutted on YouTube about that he'd obviously like you to be riding at Peterborough.
Yeah.
And he just put, "Sweet, you asked my question."
Yep.
Do you enjoy your time there?
Yeah, for sure. It's my favourite. It's a shame that all of the promotion that was there when I first started there has moved on. You know, not that who they've got in now. They're good people as well, but the guys that they had when I started there, I got, you know, fond memories of being a part of that club and that team. You know, we had. You find when my first year when I was at Eastbourne was such an awesome team spirit. Everybody was best mates, and you find once you start moving up the ladder, the team spirit isn't the same as, you know, that more grassroots level that it is a national league. The vibe changes. It's not like that.
I get what you're saying.
The further up in British Speedway you go, or any Speedway, you know, it's a lot more serious. But that Peterborough team had a real good team spirit. Like, you know, everybody says, "Oh, we got great team spirit," and that, and yeah, righto. But that Peterborough team, we were all good mates, and you turn up to the meeting and have a laugh, and it was. I enjoyed it every year with Peterborough. If I were to ride for anywhere, it would be Peterborough would be my first option in that league. And I've spoken to them, so they know what my plan is and what's going on and stuff. So, you never say never. Let's see what happens.
A weird one as well is because I did get into taking some pictures. Got into a little bit of photography where I've just sort of not been riding for years and years. I've always liked the pictures. So basically, the first time I ever took pictures was Swindon pressing practice, and obviously you were there in the Swindon side. So that's the first time I've ever took photos, and it was from the M bar. I had a big sort of lens, so it was all good. And then the only other time I took photos of Speedway was the only meeting I've ever took was 2017 at Peterborough, and you were there as well against Berwick. So that's the only times I've done it, and both times you were there. I got a couple of photos that I took of you. It was Berwick that day.
Sweet.
Got one there. A couple of you there.
Look at those gloves. I got the Wiggy Wig style Wolf Sport gloves on.
Oh, is that what they were also?
Yeah. The old Wig style ones. I got them especially for Kings Lynn.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because man, the stuff around Kings Lynn hurts. A few places like that, Kings Lynn and Sheffield, you get roosted, and man, it hurts. Like you come away with cuts all on your fingers, and
it's a bit
wicked.
And where's the couple? I did put up a couple here that I did at the Swindon and Press and Practice of years. I think.
Oh yeah. I remember those photos.
Yes, got a couple of decent ones in there.
Yeah,
it was cool. It was cool getting you. Anyway,
awesome.
So
so
you're
not dabbling in any more photography lately?
Yes, mate, I will do. Obviously, with all the COVID and all that, it's sort of been everything's been screwed for a while. But I normally get out on the British Championship motocross rounds, things like that, and get some photos in. I just see Kilby's just come in. Yo, Kilb, how's it going? He's Lee Kilby. Get BWD to tell you about getting kicked out of the karting race for unfair driving.
Oh goodness! Honestly, I don't even remember that, Lee. You'll have to give us some more information. It's happened so many times. I don't remember which one. That's just typical. That's get BWD to tell you about getting kicked out of the karting race for unfair driving. Yeah, it's happened so many times I don't even remember.
I'm gathering you means is that at Swindon? Was that at Rawton probably when you was down here?
I think I went to a karting place where Lee was working in London somewhere.
Oh, in London, was it? Oh, right, okay.
Might have been like South London. I'm pretty sure it was right next to the Thames. But I don't remember getting kicked off. But it doesn't surprise me. I'm sure I did. But everyone else was going so slow. I remember that time. Everyone else was going so slow and they kept crashing, and then the red lights would come on. And I was getting all ticked off because the red lights kept coming on. Chewing into my 15 minutes or whatever. No, that sounds about right. So, typical.
Lee will be bringing that one. You remember my brother's stag do? I got black flagged as well. He's put there was a video you showed me.
Oh,
he goes, the big fella called you a pommel.
He's talking. I know exactly when he's talking about. Yeah, it was a charity thing. It was
a charity as well.
Yeah, he called me. He goes, oh, the bloody English people, bloody white fellas. He was on like some racist rant.
Jesus.
Maori fella. Yeah, he went on like a racist rant at the end of the video. It was bizarre.
Did he?
It was. I took it well. But it was bizarre. Yeah, it was this charity event, right? And me and my two mates were doing it. And my uncle Mike Wilson. So we're doing this celebrity charity. Sporting people in New Zealand, motorsport people, for cancer, something, and you could pay to have another team's cart slowed down. So it was just a thing to get people to pay, more money for the charity and that. So that was fine. I was leading the second race and somebody paid to have my kart slowed down, even though the first race we were like nearly dead last. My team, like, you'd have to come in and swap cars and your teammate would go out. We were nearly dead last in the first race. In the second heat, someone slowed my kart down, paid to have my kart slowed down, and I'm coming down the home straight and I move off of the racing line and try to get out of the way because I'm going so slow. I turn, look behind me. I'll send you the video after. I turn,
definitely,
and look, see no one on the inside. So I move to the inside off the racing line, and as I'm going into the corner, I try to stick as tight on the inside as possible, out the way. Some guy tried going up the inside of me, and I managed to pin him up against the tires and the boards on the inside of the track, pinned him up against there. He rolled it, rolled this go-kart, and was running along the ground on his head, and it was so funny. Like, and they tried charging me for the damage to the car. They wanted me to pay for a new stub axle, and I said to them, send me the invoice. I can't pay it right now. Send me the invoice. And obviously I was never going to pay it. I said, you guys are covered for that sort of thing. It was an accident. They wanted me to pay. They said it was intentional. And I said, no, it was pure accident. Watch the video. And yeah, they were trying to charge me for it. So
Jason's put there that Jason McKay, is that McKay? He rolled someone. He rolled someone, and then Kilby's just put. I took it. Wow. Yeah, of course you did, Brad.
I'll have to send you the video. That was awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Kilby's cracking up. Sounds like fun to me.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'd be into that with you, Brad. Right, I got Nikki Ayres has put, hello Lee, loving all you're doing. Please ask Bradley how his shoulder is now. And he's mentioned about Speedway Heroes. Thanks. Also, how much did he love riding with the Panthers? We touched on that a little bit.
Yeah. Shoulders probably, I don't know, 90%. It still gets a bit sore every now and then, but I think that's going to be like that probably for the foreseeable future. I've broken it 3 times now, so or twice, whatever it was, I don't know. So I've broken it twice, 3 operations, broken it twice. So it's probably 95%. Every now and then it aches a bit for no real reason. But yeah, I've still been getting out riding Speedway, riding motocross, doing 20-minute motos and that on like a 45-year-old bike. So I can still hang on to a bike. It's not too much of an issue really.
Strong boys, isn't you? Strong boys. Steve Days put, hi Brad, hope to see you soon on YouTube.
Oh, right on. Yep. How are you, Steve? All good? Sweet.
I've got Sean Everington here. He's put question for Brad. Would you ever consider riding for Swindon Robins ever again? So just bearing in mind that I'm on and so's Lee Kilby.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I loved it at Swindon. An awesome time there, and winning the league. That's probably my highlight of my racing career so far, is winning that league with Swindon. And the way that we done it as well, coming from being down at the after the first leg to to winning away at Wolves. It just.
It was epic, yeah.
No one wins after being down in the first leg, and no one wins at Wolves.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty special, isn't it?
Oh, and the if you could have seen the atmosphere in the changing rooms after that first leg, you know, I just remember Roscoe and Doyley just head in their hands, you know, like
it's
all
like
over.
screwed it,
And
yeah.
And then the vibe changing, and, you know, all of those guys saying, you know, we can still do it, and going away from there, you know, fired up. Yeah, that was probably quite an important moment. You know, that was just between the riders and the team manager, where everyone was down and out. And then I can't remember who started that, whether it was Jason or Roscoe. Someone started that and said, you know, come on, stop sulking. You know, we can still do this, and we did. So, it was probably the highlight of my career so far. Winning that, when everyone counted us out, and for it to come down to like the last heat. It was heat 15, wasn't it? Nick and
I remember Nick Morris. Yeah, I remember Morris sort of doing something to seal it, wasn't it?
Yeah, someone fell off or something in heat 15, didn't they? First corner, and I think
Morris was definitely involved with it being sealed. I'm sure it was. Maybe Kilby.
I think we got a 4-2 or a 3-3, and that was enough to do it. That was.
The celebration started.
Man. Yeah, I remember driving back home with my mechanic, going through the drive-through with the bloody Queen playing.
With the champions. I love that.
Out the window, screaming.
Get in there, yeah.
That was awesome time.
Good times.
Yeah, that was a special time.
I don't know who's wrote that, but someone goes, "Get you two to sing the Rockin' Robins song."
Wouldn't even know.
I like that as well. I like that.
I wouldn't even know it.
Oh, Brad.
What is it?
It's like do you remember like Michael Jackson, obviously, when he was young, in the Jackson 5, all his brothers, when they were young, they used to sing this Rockin' Robin song. You'd have to have a look. You have to check it out. It's quite catchy.
Sing it.
I'm only drinking Lucasade.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, I'll do you a deal. You send me the video of your karting exploits, and I'll send you the link to listen to Rockin' Robin. It's quite catchy. I do like it.
Yeah.
It's quite good. They must have played it at Swindon at some point.
I don't suppose you can get video playing on here, can you?
If I do, the only reason I know this is because I was doing a bike raffle, and I played. I was putting the tombola on with the balls in, just spinning it around, you know. And then I thought, I'll be funny and put Alexa on and do that, you know, like spinning around like Kylie Minogue, thinking I'll be funny. And then it literally like did that, you know, all that law stuff, and then it just like started killing all my lives and everything. I was like, So yeah, I would play it now, but if I do, it does that. Facebook picks it up and does that copyright, and it goes haywire.
We'll get the link, and
I'll send it to
you. Yeah. We'll get the link, and you can post it to your group so people can see what we're talking about.
That's it. Exactly that. Got Billy Graham here. He's just put, "Hey Bradley, how's your puppy?"
Billy, you're good, Billy. Good, mate. Yeah, yeah. Oh man. Yeah, Billy, he's one of my best mates over here. He's a good bugger. He rides as well. So one of my mates that I've grown up, he was there the first time I ever raced. I still got a lot of mates like that were there from the very beginning, you know, still best mates with all of those kids. You know, I got one of my other mates, Mason. He was there the first time I ever raced in Auckland, and I'm going to be best man at his wedding and godfather to his kid, and that's know that's your best mates you meet at the track. It's good to still have all of those friendships. You know, all of the guys that I started off racing with, I still speak to them weekly. The best friendships are definitely the racing ones, eh? You know.
Yeah. Not sure what's happening here, Bradley. I don't look like this is going.
It's me coming off it.
Is it Leicester,
me.
Is it?
It's me flipping off the back. Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't save that one. Just picked up and buck me off. I was running that air jacket that year. Well, I still have been since then.
What's that like then, mate?
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Does a good job there.
Rate it. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't wear them, maybe because they're quite bulky, or I don't know, because you're always paying for more canisters or whatever. But I had my one, the foam padding in it is made of like it's made with two halves basically. So I had one half taken out, so it's half as thick as it was.
Okay, I'm with you. Yeah.
So it's not that bulky, and yeah, those canisters aren't that expensive. I rate it. You know, you come off and you've got a cushion. Who I've always been like that when it comes to safety. I'll wear, if there's something out there that I can wear, I'll wear it. You know, before that, I was wearing the neck brace, and a lot of people don't like the neck braces, and you know, you can't wear it with a air jacket because it blows up over your shoulders and it'll push the neck brace up into your helmet and pop your head off or something. But yeah, no, I rate it. Anything that can help you in a crash, I'm right there. I'll wear it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's the worst part about racing is the injuries, and I've had plenty of those. So anything I can do to try and avoid injury, yeah, I'm into it.
What do you make of the old? Obviously, when my dad and uncle raced, and probably your dad as well, they didn't have obviously the air fences and stuff. What do you make of the air fences? I know they sort of had a little bit of a period, didn't they, when they were like lifting up and people going under them and things like that. I don't know what you make of them now.
Yeah, well, we never had air fences in New Zealand, so I'd never ridden on a track with an air fence. I remember going to Sweden for that under 17 250 world champs with my mate Brady, who me and him grew up watching our dads race together, and then we raced. And he's Brady Mudgeway. It's Jade Mudgeway's younger brother. Jade rode for he's team manager or promoter now at Redcar. So me and Brady went to Sweden and raced on this North shipping, and it had a air fence. And I remember us saying, "Oh, I hope we get to hit into it, see what it feels like." You know, we're like 15 or something.
You wanted to test it.
Yeah, we were so excited about this air fence. We'd never seen one before, and yeah. So yeah, I've grown up without the air fences, and most of the tracks here have concrete wall around them, which I don't like. But yeah, I think the air fences are great. They don't always help with when your bike hits it. It just seems to bend your bike every time. But but I mean, it saves your ass I've crashed into concrete walls and wooden fences, and I'd far prefer to hit an airbag, you know, hit the bouncy castle rather than the concrete wall. Take that 10 times out of 10. Yeah, there's a couple of tracks here now that have got air fences. We've got 4 Speedway tracks in New Zealand, bike dedicated tracks, and our local track that doesn't have any fence. It's grass. It's on the inside of the stock car track, and then we've got Rosebank in Auckland, which has a thick wooden fence. But then Moore Park in Christchurch and O'Reilly Park and Invercargill, they've both got air fences, so they're moving in the right direction over here with the air fence thing. And we're still 10-15 years behind though with Speedway and rules and the technologies, and everyone's still riding old bikes and no dirt deflectors, no oil catchers. They've only just started bringing in helmet colours in the last few years, in the last couple of years. Yeah, we're still pretty far behind, but that's fine, It's a hobby sport in New Zealand. It's not a professional sport, so people are there to have fun, and if you can make it less complicated without all of the extra stuff, then I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's bad that we're, a bit behind with some things.
Right, I've got an interesting one here. I remember Mr. Hobbs, Andy Hobbs, man in the van. I remember him speaking to me the other day about you. He's put, he said he was going to come on and say, he said, "Hi, evening, boys." He said, "Sorry, badly, I never got you the cash." But he goes, "But it never happened at Swindon. But if you ever ride for Swindon, he'll help you out." So there you go.
Sweet as. Yep. Cheers, Andy.
I thought you'd like that one.
All good. All good.
We had a chat about it the other day, and he was like, because the season never happened, it didn't happen. But he said, like, come back to Swindon, he'd help you out. So that's good.
Yep. Yeah, I remember meeting him. I think he sponsored a few guys, and David and Nick maybe
Morris. Morris lives there now. Yeah.
Place. And he come along one time, and I think we talked about some sponsorship or something. He gave me some stickers. I had the man with a van sticker on my peak on my helmet. But I didn't even remember anything about cash or whatever. So all cool. Cheers, Andy.
Yeah, I think he basically said it was just something about that he was going to do the sponsorship, and obviously then the season never happened. So etc. So so it sounds like he's going to help you if you come back to Swindon. So that'd be good. That'd be cool. Cheers, Andy. I see you got some nice ones here of some grass track as well. You've done got some nice ones here.
Yeah.
You enjoy that?
Where was that? That was at that was a South Midlands grass track championship. Oh man, where was that? That was over by Peterborough somewhere. I loved it. That's on Rob Fortune's bike. So Rob Fortune was helping me out on the grass, and loaned me his bikes, and he'd come along and mechanic for me, and he was awesome when it come to the grass track stuff. He was always super keen to come and help. That was at that was that big meeting at, was it like around Warwickshire, Leamington Spa. That was that big meeting that they have there. I can't remember what it was, but there was Chris Harris and Adam Ellis, Theo Piper, all
the guys were there.
Glenn Phillips or Andy Appleton, one of the two. I can't remember which one it was. Might have been Appleton actually. There was a few top riders in that meeting, and it was my second time riding grass track. I'd done 2 races before that. It's my second time doing it. We stayed there, camped there the night, and I wasn't taking it seriously at all. I was just there to have some fun on a Sunday. So we had a few beers the night before and had a few too many, and woke up the next morning and we're racing. And I said to my mechanic and that, I said my goal for the day is just to make that B final. I want to make the B final. James Shanes, he was there. He was European champ around that time, I think.
He flies on the old grass, doesn't he?
And he does. And I wanted to make the B final, and I ended up winning a race or two. And then I made the B final. Then I made the start. Shane's fell off. He fell off in the B final. I can't remember what happened, but they restarted the race and restarted it, and I made the gate again. Won the B final, and was like, I was all stoked on that. I couldn't believe I'd even made the B final, let alone won it and made the A final. And then I made a real good gate in the A final. I was behind Adam and someone else. I can't remember who. And I was third, and I was beating Appleton and Chris Harris and all these guys, and I couldn't believe it. I was going for it at that point. And at the beginning of the day, I wasn't taking it seriously at all. if you'd said I'd have made the A final, I would have been stoked just to make it. But then I found myself in third, and that's, you get serious then.
Cool.
When you're racing, once you find yourself in a good spot, it's all business. And second lap, I'm in third, and my kill switch popped off, and I went all the way to last. And
no way.
I was so gutted. I remember coming in, and so it's Rob's bike. I had the kill switch lanyard, and I just biffed it. I threw it away, and then had to go and find it. I thought, oh man, it's not even mine to throw away. I was so pissed off. Yeah. No, I loved it. I love doing the grass track, and that South Midland Championship, the one where I've got the one in the picture behind us. I won that one, and that's the third time I rode on the grass. That's the last time I rode on the grass, and I loved it. So I went and bought a bike after that. I went and bought a grass bike, and a couple of sponsors helped me out with that, and got myself onto a grass bike, and got myself the bike, and then broke my collarbone. Never ended up getting a chance to ride it, and then since then I've sold it because I needed the money for covering some of my bills in England, and so I think hopefully this season, if I get a chance, me and Rob Fortune might do something again on his bikes. I would like to do a bit more of that. It's a bit more like motocross, the vibe. You go there and it's just like, it's not like Speedway. You're just sort of hanging out and racing with your mates, sort of
bit laid back,
yeah. Yeah, it's a lot more laid back. No pressure from anyone else, and yeah,
enjoy that sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I like doing the motocross so much, and the VMX, and that. Even VMX is even another step in the laid back direction from motocross. Even you go to motocross and still kind of everyone's walking around with the flashiest gear on and all that sort of thing. You go to a VMX and it's
everyone's
just
chilling,
completely different again, man. Everyone's just there to have a good time, and they come over and look at your bike, and you go and look at other people's bikes, and it's cool.
Good vibe,
I like that aspect of the racing where you're just there to have fun, and if you're winning, then that's just a bonus.
Do you do like the motocross? I know like a lot of the Speedway guys do the sort of motocross for quite a lot of the training side in the winter and all that sort of thing as well. Is that what you always did?
No, I always done mountain biking for that. I've only just gotten back into motocross. I rode. I rode last. So no, I've ridden this season. Just been I've done a few motocrosses, a few VMXs, and then I done one meeting the season before, and then before that I hadn't raced for 10 plus years, I suppose. 10 years. So yeah, I've only really just come back to it. I've always had motocross bikes, but I've never raced until recently. I've always just been, doing like trail rides, which I think they call like green laning or something over there.
Yeah, green laning. Yeah,
just riding over farmland.
Bit of enduro and that. Yeah,
that sort of thing. I've always just been doing that, or going to the beach, and we ride our motorbikes around to a point and go diving, and just doing it a bit more of a leisurely rides until recently started to get back into it. I love it though. That's awesome.
Obviously, winning so many national titles and stuff, does that mean a lot to you yourself personally?
100%. It means a lot. It would be nice to have a bit more competition, there's not a lot of guys in New Zealand that can really run hard, and it would be nice to have a bit more competition with it, and it, it's kind of takes away from the winning when you don't. Sometimes you don't really, if you haven't been challenged, you don't get that excitement. Yeah. That's what I like about it, is when you really have to work for it. And when I don't have that, when I'm riding, I don't get as excited, I suppose. The first one is probably the one that meant the most. Makes sense. And there was some good riders in there. There's a few guys in there that have raced in England, and I had to work for that one. But a lot of guys have given up in recent years, and there's not a lot of guys now that are that quick. There's a lot of junior kids coming through that I can see doing well. I've been doing training schools, and enjoyed doing a bit more of that stuff in recent years. Did a couple of training schools in the South Island in January, while I was February, while I was touring the South Island, and I get quite a kick out of that, helping the kids, and then I go.
Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy
that?
Yeah,
I love it. And even when you're not giving them a lot of advice, you can see that they're just enjoying listening to you. You might not even be, what you're saying might not be a really great piece of advice, but you can just see them that they're just soaking it all up. They're just loving that you're talking to them, and
give them time of day. Yeah,
the kids in New Zealand, I'm the only rider, Kiwi rider, that goes and races in England, and so they the kids all look up to me and aspire to be something like I am, and so it's cool to be that role model, and to get around them. I don't think a lot of other riders or ex-riders take the time to talk to the kids and make an effort with them. Not as many do that should. So I enjoy being that person that makes the effort with them. That's probably one of the things I enjoy in New Zealand Speedway, is getting around the kids, and the other riders as well, not just the junior riders, but the other senior riders. I'm always happy to give anyone a hand in the pits, and my closest competition or something, I'm there giving them advice on how to set their bike up, or how to ride to beat me, because I want to see everyone else progress and do better. And there's a rider, George Congreve. I've been speaking to Gary May about him, and trying to get his name out there, because he's going to be a good rider. In my opinion, he's going to be the next Kiwi rider to head to England, and I think next year he'll be ready to head into the championship. So I spent a lot of time with him when I was in the South Island, staying with them, and racing against each other, 3 different meetings, and I'm putting together with him, and the whole time telling him how to set up his bike and what to do. And I would hope that at some point in the near future he'll go out there and beat me, and then that'll help his case with getting a spot in overseas. I'd love to see more guys from New Zealand making that step up, and if they can go out there and beat me, then I think that's awesome. Because I want that. I want more of my countrymen in doing what I'm doing. And they all want it too. So, I think that George Congreve will be a name to look out.
Interesting.
I'm planning on helping him if he can get a spot. If I can help him get a spot, and I'll be over in England, and he can come and mechanic for me, and I'll go and mechanic for him, and show him the ropes and that sort of thing. But he's definitely a name to look out for. He's doing really well, and he's ballsy as well. He's not afraid to make a pass or whatever.
Like you then.
Yeah, he's like he is like myself. He's not just gonna sit
goes for it. Yeah,
place. He's gonna put it on the fence and put it on the line. And there's that's what you got to do, and that's what other riders here are missing. I think they're too conservative, and they're happy to ride around the inside for 4 laps and sit in second. You've got to have that fire in you. You've got to have a bit of dog in you. If you're not winning, it's if you're not first, you're last, sort of thing.
Gotta have that going. Gotta have that competitiveness in you.
Exactly.
What were your sort of favourite tracks in the UK then, Brad?
Somerset was always my favourite, and Peterborough and Somerset were really similar. I felt the first year that I was at Peterborough, but it's kind of changed since then. But Somerset was always my favourite, still is. Even when they had some track issues in 2018, and the other guys would be complaining about the track, and mainly all the Aussie guys, there's so many of them in the team, just the complaining about the track, and you gotta just get on with it, and if you let that get into your head that the track's bad, and you're only hindering yourself. I would always just go there, and whatever the track was like, I was going to get on with it. I thought Somerset was really great, even when it wasn't the best. I always loved that track, and they had a good dirt line out on the outside, and for me, I struggle more on the slick tracks than I do on the heavy tracks. I prefer a track that's heavy over a track that's slick any day. I need that that dirt on the outside to make a pass or whatever. And I've never been the fastest starter, but if there's some dirt out there, I'll go for it and try and make a pass. That's my sort of track. I definitely don't do as well on the slick tracks as I do on the heavy tracks, which is something I've always needed to work on, really. But I don't know. I just never seem to really feel as good on a slick track as I do on a heavy track. That's something to work on, I suppose.
I definitely personally enjoyed you racing at Swindon, and you're always going for it and all that. That was good. That was good. When you see riders not, like you said, not settling and just doing that, I'm just gonna just take the easy ride round, and you'd always go after it. I love that.
I'll probably needed to just not go after it, but
certain times,
as a being that it's a team thing, I probably needed to sit in second or sit in third and just pick up the point or something sometimes. But that Elite League final or Premiership final at Wolves that year, pretty sure I fell off in one ride, but I was third and my teammate was fourth. And so I thought either way, if I fall off, it's we're still going to pick up a point. They're on a 5-1, so I just went for it, and yeah, wasn't just going to settle for third. I was either going to take the second place or come off trying. It was that was how important it was to me, that I was going to throw everything at it. And in the end, I did just fall off, and which made no difference to our score, but at least I was giving it a go, and that's
exactly that.
That's what I always that's what I try to. That's what I want to be remembered for.
Fans like that.
Giving 110% every time. Even if I'm dead last, I'm still going to screw it on, and
I think that means a lot to the fans in general, and you can see as well. I don't know if riders think that that it's not noticeable, when they're doing that.
Yeah, 100%. You can see it as a rider looking at other riders. You know exactly when there's I can't. There's one rider that I'm not going to name anyone, but one rider from here, and I've tried helping so many times, but he's always just happy to sit there, and I'm like, man, you've got to do something. You've got to move off the line. Do something, and I've tried helping him so many times, and he just sit on the inside and sit in whatever place. Like, you're not going to pass anyone like that. You're just following them, and that's the sort of riding that I don't want to do, or don't want to see people. If I'm trying to help someone, I don't want to be seeing that. I want to see you going for it. If you're not winning, you have to put it on the line. That's how you need to be. And if you want, like you say, like the fans to if you want the fans to get behind you, you have to be out there giving 110. No one wants to watch someone that's happy to settle in second or third place. And you shouldn't be happy with yourself either. You got to go out there and put it on the line every time. That's the way to do it.
Definitely. I got Neil Skeldin here has put evening Bradders, and then he's also put Lee, ask him about his wipers on his van.
Oh, yeah. I had this mechanic in 2018 when I was living with Cribby, and we just used to get up to all these practical jokes, and he bought this siren, like a little megaphone with a little walkie-talkie thing, and the megaphone under the bonnet and the walkie-talkie in the cab, and it had little sirens on it, and you could talk into it, and we'd pull up at the gas station and say, pump number 3, hang up your pump and come into the store, please. And the person would hang up their pump and go into the store. And just
have some good fun with that,
like that. And so I had the squirters, for your windscreen. I turned the left one sideways, and would drive around. You'd turn the squirter on, and it'd squirt out the side and squirt someone. And we got so many people. I got my promoter's wife at Peterborough, Lisa, Jed's missus. I got her when we were in Newcastle. I think just squirted her straight in the face. I got Debbie Hancock at Somerset. I got everyone really. It was so funny. And we'd drive along, we'd be in traffic, and it was like our way of entertaining ourselves in traffic. Sitting in traffic, and someone would drive up next to you with their window down, and we'd hit the squirter and squirt them, and it'd get them like straight in the face. And it was so funny. And then we got a couple of parking wardens once. We squirted them when we were in Worcester or somewhere like that, Pershore or somewhere, and Evesham, and I got a letter from the police a little while after.
Did you?
Cinny. Yeah. I got a letter from the police, like a warning, and then I squirted some lady in Newcastle, and it's just water, you know. We'd been going through so much of it that there was no window cleaner in there or nothing. It was straight water, and I squirted this lady in Newcastle on the way home from a meeting, and I got a call from the police maybe a week or two later. They said, "Oh, we've had a report, you know, that your passenger had a water gun, and they squirted a woman with some sort of liquid that's given her burns and severe skin irritation and all this sort of thing." And I thought, all right, yeah, probably shouldn't have squirted her, but that's a load of whatever, because it was just water. She was just trying to make it out to be something it wasn't, you know, making it a big deal.
There's always them. There's always them ones.
Yeah, so we kind of stopped after that. I thought, I don't want to get in any trouble. And you know, that was when all those acid attacks and stuff were going on. I thought, all right, I'm going to get in the shit here if I keep. Someone's gonna make something up that I've done something I haven't. So we kind of cut that out then. But it was great while it lasted. It was so funny. Yeah, we loved it.
Brilliant. Yeah. Made the trips a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And Daniel's also put ask him about his love for the two strokes.
Yeah, he's one of my mates here. Yeah. Oh, of course. We're all about two strokes. Me and Daniel. Yeah. Nah. All of my bikes are two strokes. Has to be two stroke.
Well, I'll be having plenty of them, Bradley, at a reunion meeting that we're having in September.
I see proper. That Kawasaki that you got.
Yes.
Man, that thing is nice.
Yeah.
Dude, what do you go and buy the bikes and raffle them off? Is that sort of what you do?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that bike's so nice. I just haven't bought a ticket. I just know my luck. I never win anything like that, so I just haven't bothered buying a ticket for any of them. But man, there's some nice bikes.
Nice bikes, yeah, really very nice, mate.
Bike. What year is that?
It's hang on. I think it's 99 or 98. I think it is.
Yeah.
Because the actual replica he's done is Tortelli in 97, I believe, or 99.
Yeah.
When he first went into the 250s after being world champion in the 125s. Yeah, it was his first year in there. Yeah. Same replica as that. Yeah. But yes, it's really nice. And then I just happened to find it as I was doing like a live interview with him, so it was perfect timing.
Working.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Neil's just put, is he doing any more grass tracks?
Yeah, for sure. I'm hoping to when I come over. Yeah, see what happens. I've asked Rob Fortune if there's any on. Like May, June sort of time. So if there is, I'm in. I want to do a bit more of that.
Yeah. I like. I'm speaking to Paul Hurry's dad, Graham Hurry. I know he does the grass tracks, runs meetings and stuff, and he was saying about, because I've never seen one live actually for some reason, grass tracks. So he said he'll get down there. That'd be good.
Oh, wicked! Yeah, you could go see one. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
700 meter track and
wide open,
2-speed box on it. You're in second gear, flat out.
Good fun.
Something different, and so rough as well. It's like a mixture of, it's like a mix of Speedway and Motocross. And man, some of those tracks are rough. Like, if it was a Speedway track, no one would ride it. The riders would be, nah, we're not doing it, you know, which is fair enough. But on the grass, you got the rear suspension and the big back wheel and all that sort of thing, and they can handle it. And man, it blew me away. The first one I done was in Worcester, and I only done 2 rides. I think I hurt my knee, and I couldn't. I'd torn a ligament in my knee, which I just done again a few months ago. I've got a brace on it at the moment, and it was rough. Like I couldn't believe it, what we were riding through. And there was like a jump in the track as well. There's like a bit of a jump. It's just mental, eh? I've never seen grass track before, and I go to race on it. Never watched it, nothing. Yeah. And I go and race, and it's crazy. That's good fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ryan Newbury's just come up. We did touch on this earlier, Ryan. Nothing sorted in the club-wise, UK-wise. So Bradley's going to see what happens when he comes over and all that sort of stuff, and see what happens with the old COVID and everything first.
Plenty of offers, not taking anyone up on anything. So
you know what's going on, yeah.
We'll wait and see what happens. If I
go on.
I would like to be at Peterborough, and I would like to be somewhere fairly local to where I stay with Cribby in Birmingham. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens with the COVID situation and how things are once I'm there, and decide from there. But yeah, I'll be there for the Grand Prix qualifier on the 29th of May. That's where my focus is at the moment. Get over there, get the bikes sorted, and do some practices and go and race in that. And I've had a couple of good meetings there the last 2 times. I've only lost 2 races there, and in the last 10 races, it's 27 out of 30 points. So every year I've done these Grand Prix qualifiers. It's been on a track I've never ridden on, and usually in a country I've never been to.
Yeah, some random place.
I've had some crashes and some inexperience. Last year's one in France, I was giving positions away in 3 out of 5 races or something, where I'd make a good start and then just not riding the right lines, and not last year before. So you got to have a good team of people there with you, like a coach sort of person, a mentor that can see that. And when you don't have that, and you're making those mistakes and you're not correcting them, and you're not correcting it yourself, and you've also got no one guiding you either, then it's easy to slip up. And I got Cribby coming with me to Glasgow. Me and him are going to head up there. I've got my old mechanic Ryan Moss. He's from Christchurch. He lives in Glasgow, so he's gonna spanner for me, which should be cool. He knows exactly how we do things, so that'll be good. And Cribby in my corner, guiding me and all that sort of thing. So I think I've got a good chance here, and I want to give it a real good shot. So we've been going hard trying to find sponsors and that sort of thing. It's an expensive trip when you've not got a team that are paying for your flights and all that sort of thing. And then it's over $5,000 to quarantine when I come home. It's expensive. That's over £2,500 for the quarantine. So we've been going hard looking for sponsors, and a lot of my sponsors that have been with me for years, they're back on board and that sort of thing. So we got a lot of support, which can't do it without that. I wouldn't have done anything in my racing without all of my sponsors. I would have. The first year I went to England, I didn't really have any sponsors. I had one or two. Got a good friend, John Sprague. He was with me from the very beginning. But not many, if any, cash sponsors. And I remember I bought a bike off Jason Garrity, a rolling chassis. I sent my engines from here. I had a Jawa and an old GM. I sent those engines over, and the rolling chassis from Garrity was £1,000, and I put in $1,000, and my dad loaned me $1,000 so that I could afford this rolling chassis. I didn't have any money at all. Going into that first season, and then picked up a load of sponsors. Les Fining from Fine Print in Eastbourne. He was the first one that come on board and started sponsoring me, and he's been sponsoring me ever since. There's a lot of people I could name, but I didn't have a dollar to my name when I first started over there, and if it weren't for like my dad loaning me money to buy a rolling chassis. I only had one bike. Someone else, Colin Davies, sponsored me a bike, and then an engine, and just started picking up sponsors and making friendships with people along the way, and that played a massive part. Without, it's probably the same for everyone. If you don't have your sponsors, it makes it pretty tough to do it. So we did it pretty tough in the beginning with old gear and shitty old bike from Garrity, and we made it work.
Fair play. That's good. Is there any like engines that you sort of had engines that you really liked? And because I know you got guys, don't you like you guys name them and things like that? And have you had some special ones that you liked?
I've got two that I like the most. But I've got four engines in England, and they're all good. I can ride any one of them, on any night. But if I have a big meeting or something, the qualifier or something, there is one engine there that I prefer, that I think might have a slight edge over the others.
Is it a he or a she, or has it got a name?
It's got a number. It's just number 3.
Numbers. Okay, so it's just numbers. Okay.
Yeah, they're all just numbered.
Okay.
And I've always stuck with Barry Alloway down in Reading. He's been doing my engines since 2015. I've had one other person service an engine for me, and I bought an engine off of Peter Johns, and he serviced that one for me once as well. Aside from those 2 times, I've never had an engine done by anyone else in England. It's always been Barry Alloway. I've been with him since beginning of 2015, and stuck with him the whole time, and never had any issues. Never had really any issues.
Works well,
so
doesn't it?
It's keep up that sort of relationship, and bit of loyalty to him, I suppose.
That's good.
After he's got me where I am with my engines, so I've always stuck with him. It's good to have a good relationship with one guy and stick with them, and I can ask him something about my engines, and he'll tell me. As you go to someone else and you ask them what the compression ratio is set at on your motor, and they won't tell you. And I find that a bit bizarre. I want to know what's in my engine and what it's set up like. Not just get on and ride it. I like to understand and know the ins and outs of my engines and that. And,
so you're into the technical side as well, and you like that part as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I've been rebuilding engines and stuff this past year. I've been getting into that, and just rebuilt the motor on the YZ125. Top and bottom end, and replacing gears in the gearbox, and doing stuff like that, working on engines, and my dad does my Speedway engines. I like that sort of thing.
That's good.
That's what I'm doing every day, really, is working on motorbikes, working on engines, rebuilding engines. I've got my phone leaned up against an engine that I just rebuilt the other day. That's how I put it up.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Love
so
that. Have you got any superstitions, Bradley? Any race and all that?
Nah. Just
no.
Nah.
No,
none at all.
It's good.
I don't know if I don't not believe in that sort of thing, but personally, I don't have anything like that. I just pin it. that's about it. Just make sure you pin it, and then don't worry about any of that other stuff.
You need to get a butt patch on some motocross pants with that on.
Yeah, just pin it.
Yeah, pin it. That'd be good.
I'll get that next time.
Yeah, definitely. What riders been your sort of favourite to team ride with then, if I had to ask you?
That's a good one. I'll take a second here to think about that. Probably. It's hard to say one person that I.
Yeah, is there a few guys that you sort of get on with and team ride with, or it's been a couple you sort of gelled with a little bit, or?
Oh, I've had plenty of good relationships with other riders and that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
when it comes to one specific person that I like riding with, team riding, and I always like riding with Michael Palmtoft.
Oh yeah.
You know, we wouldn't often get in each other's way, or he was always a good rider to ride with. He's always tidy, and you know, other guys would get a bit loose, and you know, when your teammate comes steaming under you and passes you and just about puts you in the fence. And I had one year, I had two of my teammates who I won't name. They're both good boaters, but they're both good dudes. But I got knocked off 4 times by one and 6 times by the other.
Bloody hell. Jesus.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You know,
it's definitely not them then.
Coming from gate 1 and you're coming from gate 3, and they just head straight to the outside and wipe you out on their way there. And so it's good guys, but yeah, you get the odd one that you don't quite like having to ride with, I suppose. No. Sort of asking your team manager, like, can you change my number or something? I don't want to ride with them anymore. Especially after getting wiped out 6 times. But it's all good. Don't hold any grudges or anything like that. So yeah, probably I liked riding with Michael Palmtoft. He was a good team man, and good guy off the track as well. So everyone in that Peterborough team I always got on real good with. You know, Ulrich and Scott and Starkey and Lambert, Tofty, all of those guys. You know, there's plenty more names. They're all Emil, and yeah, they're all good dudes. We all had good relations off the track and on the track.
Who are your closest sort of friends in the UK then, racing with and non-racing?
No one really. I don't. When I come to England, I'm not so much there to socialise or anything like that. I'm there to race. I get along real good with Thomas Jorgensen. He come and stayed with me in New Zealand, and you know, come and stay at my place in England and hang out and that sort of thing. But yeah, realistically, I stick to myself. I don't. You know, your teammates and that, you make good friendships with them. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm there to race and
travel a long way to race.
I don't have much time for hanging out with people. Yeah, my days are filled with working on my bike or racing my bike, and that's what I do every day. I don't. I usually have some girl or something. You know, I've usually got like some girl hanging around that keeps me occupied when I'm not busy with the Speedway. But aside from that, yeah, there to race.
Sweet. What do you think about those new rules, Bradley, with the old Polish league thing and all that, of restricting it to 2 leagues and stuff like that with their riders? And what do you think about
they're
that?
sort of dictating what every other country's doing, aren't they? I don't know why the FIM can't step in and say no, that's not happening, or I don't know. They just seem to do whatever they want to do over there, and it's like they're making the rules for everyone else. It's obviously they're the big league in Speedway, but they seem to dictate what happens in other countries when they make rules like that, and I don't agree with the fact that they can do that. Maybe they could have, said, if I'm signing such and such rider, you have to have in your contract that you're only to ride in one other league, and have it as a personal deal between them and said rider, rather than making an official rule for all riders. I don't know, maybe something like that. They've always been like that, though, haven't they? In the last few years, they make the rules. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough in Poland, eh?
Yeah.
I had that spot with Gdansk, and I went and done two sparring matches. One against Piła, which was a second division team, and then one against Lublin, which was a extra league team. I scored 10 at Piła, dropped 2 points, and then I scored 8 against Lublin at Gdansk, and dropped 4 points. And then after that, they said, all right, yeah, we're going to make you a team suit, you're in the team sort of thing. And so that was all cool. And they give me the call, you're riding in Latvia, in Daugavpils. So we head out there on race at, I think we were racing at Poole or somewhere on the Thursday night. Drove home, stripped the bike, washed all of my gear, all of that sort of thing. Woke up at 6 a.m. Washed the bike. I didn't want to start up the pressure washer at 1 a.m. or something when I'd gotten home from the meeting. So strip everything, wash all the carb and the clutch plates, and do all of that stuff. And then I washed the bike in the morning, loaded up. Friday morning, we were off to Latvia. Got there Saturday morning. It was 24 hours drive. And and me and my mechanic, and we picked up my girlfriend at the time in Poland, carried on, got there Saturday morning, had a sleep, had some dinner, raced Sunday. I scored 5 points, and then we left the track, packed up, had a shower, drove straight back to England, straight to Peterborough, got there 26 hours later to the track, got there at about 6:30 p.m. and raced at 7:30 from one track to the next, and driving non-stop. So that was a hell of a trip. Then I never got another chance with Gdansk after that. They went with a Polish rider, Adrian, someone, I think his name is Adrian. They went with him, and he was scoring 0s and 2s, and they just went with him every time. And they told me one week, all right, you're in the team this week. And then on the Friday, I'd gotten everything ready at home. I was racing at Poole. I'd gotten everything ready, and then they text me on my way home from Poole and said, oh, sorry, coach has said you're not in the team. We've signed someone else. And they'd signed Kim Nielsen. And yeah, that was it. I didn't have a chance after that. So that was a bit of a shame. Like, it's so tough, even when you you're riding in a country. I'd never even been to Latvia.
Yeah.
Never seen the track. I don't think I'd ever seen a video of it. And first ever proper league match in the Polish league, and score 5 points out of 12, and you don't get another shot. So it's tough.
Yeah. That's like a
It's-
decent, especially when like you said, you're not seen it, not been there.
no, and nervous as hell. It's my first, my big opportunity, and I've done, well in those sparring matches. I thought that was, I'd shown them what I can do, and even though I went and only scored 5 points, they knew what I was capable of, and I still never got another chance. And that sparring match against Lublin, they were an extra league team. I scored 8 points. I beat Andreas Johnson and, plenty of other riders who I can't even remember, but,
good guys, yeah.
Some good riders. It's tough. That's what Polish Speedway is like. It ain't easy. And,
pretty savage, isn't it?
I think it probably didn't help that I didn't live there as well. I was driving to Poland. I weren't just flying either or living there. I was driving each time, and they were paying, £700-800 travel for me to drive out there and, pay for a hotel. And I think that it was probably just cheaper for them to go with that Adrian, the Polish rider that lived 10 minutes from the track kind of thing,
Yeah.
Probably a lot cheaper for them and easier. But yeah, no hard feelings with the team or anything like that. It just would have been nice to get another opportunity, but that's the way it goes. It's not.
Neil Burrows has just put on YouTube. He just put, "It can't be easy on the mental health doing something like that as well."
Oh yeah, for sure. There's been plenty of times when I've been racing in England where you're feeling down, and 2017 I ran out of money a couple of times, and I ended up picking up a sponsor from Swindon, an old guy, Richard, who's a farmer. And if it weren't for him sponsoring me, I don't think I would have made the end of the season. I would have had to have pulled out or something. I had no money. Like I had enough money one week to put diesel in the van to get to Swindon to race. And, when you're not scoring and you've already got no money and you're not happy where you are, and you're in a shitty relationship, and it can get
Snowball a bit, yeah.
It can snowball for sure. And I come home that year and the doctor put me on antidepressants and all that sort of thing, So
hard.
Yeah, she gets tough. When you're on the other side of the world, things aren't going right for you. But things can get tough. But I don't. I think I'm in a good place now. Like with all of that sort of thing, and more stable financially, and it's when the pressure's on you like that, and you're in a winning team as well, and you're not doing much winning, then things can get tough.
Yeah.
But I don't let that sort of thing affect me. In reply to that question, the Polish thing and that, and not getting a chance, I don't sit there and get upset about it or anything like that. It is what it is. It obviously bothers you a bit at the time, but I was still happy doing whatever I was doing.
Yeah, so you didn't dwell on it too much, yeah. Oh, we lost you there, Bradley? Oh, just lost you there for a second.
Someone tried calling me.
All right, okay, yeah.
no, I don't really have any issues with. Yeah, it's the same with like you know, the fans and that the stuff they write online, and yeah, I used to read all of that when I was
Did you? Did you?
when I was writing for Eastbourne and Somerset. I used to read it all, and you know, the British Speedway forum. I'd go on there every once in a while and look at like the Eastbourne thread or the Somerset thread, and just have a read of what people were saying. And yeah, I don't let it affect me at all. It's, if anything, I quite enjoy that when someone's writing, you know, talking a bit of shit about you or whatever. I just have a laugh at it and think, you know, I'll show you.
Tease you up a bit.
Yeah.
Use it as a positive, innit?
Yeah, you get fans from other tracks, you know, saying stuff. And this one guy that wrote on Facebook and said, he's going to be shit. He won't score more than 3 points or something. And you know, you go there and score 10 points, and you think, you know, I showed you, like, you don't have to say anything to them. You've already proved your point without opening your mouth.
That's good.
Yeah. You just do your talking on the track, prove them wrong, and that's about all you need to do. You don't need to worry about that stuff, what people say, and let it fuel you.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. A lot of people are going to have opinions, and on social media and stuff. It's too easy to say stuff quickly, isn't it?
When you're in this sort of job, you're going to get that. So you've got to be immune to it. You know, you don't let that sort of stuff affect you. Otherwise, it will affect you. You know,
literally,
yeah. You've got to embrace it. It's part of it. So to go on there and have a whinge about it and say, oh, these people have said this about me, or to sit there in your own head thinking about it, it's not the way to do it. You've got to embrace that sort of thing and enjoy it. I like it. Yeah. I love the criticism. It's, you know, that gives you a bit of fire in your belly to go out there and prove people wrong. I like it.
Do you obviously do a lot of racing individually as well as in the team? Do you prefer either one than the other, or just both like the same, or do you, as in like being part of a team or an individual?
They're both different, you know. Both got their benefits. I think I enjoy the sort of team aspect, you know, with racing with your teammates, and you've all got one common goal. But then I also like racing individually because there's no one to put any pressure on you except yourself. And yeah, I think they both have their ups and downs. Well, yeah, they both have their ups. I couldn't say on that one which I prefer, because I don't think I prefer either.
Yeah, I got Mark Collins has said on Facebook, "Good day from Australia. Do you get much help from the older Kiwi riders like Mitch Shearer?"
No, I think Mitch lives in Australia.
Oh, does he actually bases in Australia? Is he?
I do
tried
get a lot of
messaging
help.
A couple of times.
Yeah, I get a lot of help from the older guys. Bruce Cribb, Mike Fullerton. They're probably my two main mentors in Speedway. You know, they're a couple of people to look up to and to listen to, you know, respect those guys and respect their word, and you know, trust in what they're telling me to do is you know, that it's going to be the right thing. I'm trying to think who else. A lot of New Zealand riders don't have that. Past New Zealand riders don't have a lot to do with Speedway anymore. You know, they'll do all the winning and that, and then once they're out of the sport, they're out. They have nothing to do with it, and that's one thing that I don't want to do is you know, if you've been
help
there,
the young
and
guys
done,
out. You mean help the young guys? Yeah.
If you've been there and done
steer
that,
them in the right direction. Yeah,
you've got the knowledge, and I think it's like in a sport like Speedway that's so small in New Zealand, and there's so few top riders. It's like your duty, you know, to pass on that knowledge to the next ones. Because if you don't, then no one's going to be after you.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So there's been, you know, there's past New Zealand champions that have left the sport and disappeared completely. And I think, man, you got all this knowledge and all this experience that you could be passing on, and you just walk away from it completely. And I mean, it's their life, they do what they want, but that's not what I want to do. I want to be in it, passing on whatever knowledge or helping in any way I can, even when I'm finished riding, because I want to see the next generation of riders do what I done and even better, you know. Steve Day. Yep. Staying at Cribby's. Yep, I'll be there. He's in Invercargill over here. He heads back to England a week after I do. So he's staying out here for 3 months. So I think he's been here for about 7 weeks already. So yeah, I'll be staying with him again. We have a good time.
Do you enjoy any other sports, Bradley? Is there any other sports you like? Do you follow all the like the American Supercross and I don't know about GPs?
I don't follow any of that.
No?
I watch the UFC. I follow that quite closely. That's the only other. That's the only sport I watch. I don't even watch the Speedway. Like I don't.
Oh, right, you don't watch GP?
No. I've not watched one from last year at all. I just watched the final the other night. I was staying with my mate Jason Mackay, and he put on the final at Torren. So we watched that. That's the first one that I've watched in a couple of years. I like watching the UFC. I watched every Sunday, and went to the pub on Sunday here and watched the pay-per-view, the heavyweight title, and that was really good. That's about all the sport I follow.
Do you like McGregor and all them guys? Do you like McGregor's and all them?
I like what he's done. I'm not a fan and not a fan when it comes to McGregor. He's what he's done in the sports, you know, unreal. Really, he's brought the sport into the mainstream. Brought in more fans than anyone else, and he's
definitely a character.
Yeah. I don't have one fighter or something that is my favorite or something like that.
Follow more the sport,
I just like watching.
Cool. Someone's put from Tibbs Speedway on YouTube. Great insight from Bradley.
Sweet.
Definitely has. See, you're very, very thoughtful about what you do and what you're very thoughtful. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Mm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Got to, don't want to come on here and just chat shit or whatever, got to think about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, mate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's what, so I've always been like that, I suppose. I don't know. Wouldn't want to, you you don't want to be any other sort of way, I suppose. I like to, have a proper conversation and not just, dribble on about random shit, whatever.
If you
Think about
if
what
you,
I'm
if you had to give advice to any youngster out there, that Bradley, that's thinking about becoming a pro speedway rider, what would you say to those guys?
Don't do it. No, no.
Yeah, leave it.
Yeah, take up my or something.
Yeah.
Um, d- dedication is the most important thing. If you need to be dedicated. There's been so many riders that that I've known that have the ability, but they're not dedicated. And if you can't go into it wanting to give 110% of everything and make it your whole life, your life's goal, the most important thing to you, then you're not going to make it. It's coming all the way from New Zealand is not easy when it comes to racing speedway in Europe. Well, you're not in Europe anymore, but it's it's not easy coming from all the way over here.
Big culture change.
You leave behind your friends, your family, and you go and live with people that you might have never met before, in a town that you've never been to before, and it's a big step, and if you're not with it in your head, and you're not really committed to it, then it's not going to happen for you. And I've seen riders do this in the past that have come from New Zealand. New Zealand have had quite a few riders in the last 10, 15 years come to England. There's been quite a few. There's been 5 to 10 riders that have gone over, and I don't know how many of them lasted more than 1 season, 1 to 2 seasons, and that was it. They couldn't handle it. It's too far away from mum or from your mates, or if you want to do it, you have to be 100% involved. You can't just go over there half-hearted and miss your mum or whatever. It's same. It's the same for all of us guys when we go from New Zealand. It's not easy, but I sort of showing the way to do it if you're from New Zealand. To our next generation of riders, that you can't go over there and be half-hearted about it. You have to be 100% dedicated, and it's not easy. When you're over there and you've run out of money and things aren't going well for you, and you're not scoring points, you're having shit meetings, you keep falling off, you keep bending bikes.
Could be a scary thing, I can imagine at times.
Yeah, it gets tough. It gets real tough, and those are the times when you've got to knuckle down and not give up. And when you push through those moments, you get to the good the good moments, you know, and that's makes it all worth it. Yeah, and that's why I want to help these other guys as well. Like I was saying about George Congreve, that's why I want to help these guys, so I can make it. If I can make it just a little bit smoother for them, not easier, but if I can make things go a little bit smoother for the likes of George and whatever other riders that may go over in the future, you know, whether it be from giving them advice or giving them phone numbers of people to talk to, or helping them find a place to live, or whatever it is.
Be a big thing, that.
Yeah. To help these other guys and make it a bit smoother, and you know, so that the relationships that I've built up over the years and all of that sort of thing, I can pass on to these guys and say, here, ring this guy, he'll help you out, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, that's, you know, if I can do something good with what I've learned, pass a bit of that on to the next guys, then that'll be cool. Because you know, I had to go over there, not you know, I didn't have me when I went over there, you know, another one of me to do that. I went over there with no you know, there was no other Kiwis riding. I didn't have anyone's path to follow or whatever. I had to do it all myself. And it's tough. So yeah, I'd like to be able to help some of the boys and make things just that little bit smoother for them. And I hope that in the next year or two, you know, that there'll be another rider or two from New Zealand. That's like a big goal for me, is to have some more boys from New Zealand, because we used to be such an awesome country for Speedway, and we had so many riders over there. You know, we won the World Team Cup at one point, and the way that it's gone, yeah, it's sad. So just to have one more Kiwi over there with me would be awesome. You know, every other rider has you know, their fellow countrymen racing in whichever country, you know. If you're from America and you're racing in England, you got another couple of Americans, or even like Argentina with Nico and Garcia. Nico's kind of Italian, but, you know, Argentinian, he lives there. And, you know, even those sort of countries, wherever you're from, you've probably got another countryman with you. New Zealand,
you can
basically
tap into.
One. It's just me. Yeah. So that's a big goal for me, is to help someone else make the step over.
I can see that means a lot to you as well.
Yeah. That's, yeah, I've been on Gary May's case a lot over the last few months about Congreve, because I wouldn't put someone's name forward if I didn't think that they could do it. I wouldn't want to set them up for failure, and I wouldn't want to set the team up with a rider that wasn't capable. So, you know, when I'm telling Gary May that I think he can do it, I mean it, you know. And like I've got 4 bikes over in the UK now. I've just been sponsored with a couple of new bikes. So when I get there, I'll build up my bikes from 2019 season, and the plan is to leave them there for whoever's next. You know, I just spoke to George the other day about that and said, my bikes are there. If you make the step up and you're riding over there, my bikes are there for you, you know. So I can try and help in that kind of way, or whatever, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. As the years have gone on, it's become more important to me to help the other guys than just helping myself. That's always a big part of my racing. Like even just on the weekend, I was in Palmerston North for our North Island Championship. I wasn't riding, but I was down in the pits, offering advice to the other riders, and I was spannering for Graham Wedlake. He's from the UK. He used to ride. I think he might have ridden at Milton Keynes or something. But I think he's in his 50s. I was there spannering for him all night. I only went along to spectate, and you end up in the pits with your hands dirty.
Pitching in.
Yeah. But no, I enjoy it. Yeah. It's all good fun.
Guys are saying a few things. Neil Burrows put great gesture, Bradley, top man. Mark Collins put, sounds like Bradley and Darcy Ward have similar thoughts about Speedway in their respective countries. With the youngsters and helping them out. Very cool.
Yeah, I see what Darcy's doing, and that's real cool. Dad messaged me the other day and asked if I wanted to go and race in a meeting. It's cool that he's not just disappeared from Speedway like a lot of guys do, and with his situation, he probably could have quite easily turned his back on the sport and hated it for what's happened to him, but he's out there still heavily involved with it, which is awesome. That's, big respect to him for that. And what he's doing is pretty cool.
Just ask you a couple of things before we go. Really appreciate your time, mate, especially getting up early this morning to do this for us.
No worries.
Top man. I'll put some pictures up while I ask you this as well, that I've just got left. I was going to ask you, what are your ambitions then in Speedway still, in general?
Just win. That's it. I just want to win. What I'm winning, it'll come up when it comes up. But as long as I'm winning, that's my goal. I want to win.
Love that. It's got some nice pictures here. There's that one we were talking about.
That's awesome, eh? I've got.
I love that.
One of my sponsors blew that up for me, so I've got it in like a massive big poster. It's awesome. I love that. That's that Jason Mackay behind me, pulling the finger at him.
That's brilliant.
That's great. Yeah.
I spotted this on it. I spotted this as well.
Oh yeah. So I got my granddad tattooed on me, then I got my dad tattooed on me, and then I got myself. So I've just got to get my uncle, and then I've got the all four of us that race Speedway. And then if I ever have kids, I'll carry it on up my shoulder, and that was the sort of idea with it. Bit of a family Speedway sleeve.
That's that one, isn't it? Looks like that one.
Yeah. That's it.
Beauty.
Yeah, that's a cool photo.
I do like that. Yeah, oh, that's good.
It's prison practice at Somerset. 2018. That was a couple of years ago. That one at OHara in Invercargill. Awesome track, best track in New Zealand.
It's the best track. Yeah. Is that you like that one?
Yeah. Yeah. The awesome club, massive motorcycling town, and best track in the country by far. Oh yeah, it's press and practice at Eastbourne. My first I'd done a practice before that, a few days before, and then that was my first time with the team suit and that. Very exciting times.
What did you think of the track, Bradley?
At Eastbourne? Yeah, I loved it. Thought it was really good, and I thought it was really good that the away riders hated it.
Yeah, definitely for home track. Yeah,
that was always nice. I think I had 3 or 4 meetings unbeaten in a row around there. I loved it. Once you get the hang of one of those sort of tracks, real easy to get into a groove and start winning races. You know, there's tracks like Newcastle and Edinburgh, Wolverhampton, Eastbourne, sort of trickier little tracks. If you can get into the swing of it, a massive home advantage on tracks like that. Yeah, that's why teams like Wolves and that barely ever lose, and Eastbourne. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was an awesome little track. I was never the fastest that whole year. I couldn't gate to save myself. I was never the fastest out the gate. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, to be honest. I just didn't know how to set up a clutch or how to make a start at all. I just used to go out there and drop the clutch and screw it on. And I missed so many starts. I couldn't gate to save myself. So I think the supporters enjoyed that.
Yeah,
in the back.
That's it.
Quite often around Eastbourne, I'd end up coming from the back and making the pass, and they like that. Yeah, I like that too. That's what it's about. I always used to say that at Peterborough, they'd interview me or something, we'd be losing the meeting, and I'd say to them, you know, realistically, who cares? As long as the fans are happy with the racing, if we're entertaining you, then at the end of the day, who cares what the score is? If you go home entertained, that's the most
very true.
And and that's what we're there to do, is entertain the people. That's the job. You know, you're in the entertainment business.
Definitely, yeah.
So if you can put on a show for people and they go away feeling entertained, then it's job done. Whether your team wins or loses, you're there to put on a show. Yeah, that's what I enjoy about it, going out there and putting on a show for them.
Before we go, Bradley, I really appreciate your time. What are you on your social medias if people wanted to check out your stuff or give you a message or support you?
Yep, for sure. Yeah, Bradley WilsonDean Racing on Facebook, or just my name as my personal Facebook page. You give me an ad and follow my things that I'm doing, and my Instagram, Skid Racer. I don't use social media all that much, but you know, every now and then I'll post a little something of what I've been doing or some racing stuff, and so feel free to give me an ad or a follow or any of that sort of thing, and check out what I'm doing if you're into that.
Sweet, mate. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you'll be over in the UK soon then, and fingers crossed you can do some racing in the UK this year. It'd be cool. I'm sure everyone would look forward to that.
Yeah, 26th of April I'll be there. So, yeah.
Fingers crossed the things can work out over here this year. That'd be cool. It'd be good to see you racing. And I'll get this up tomorrow, get it on social media and that, and share it with you, tag you and stuff and all that, so people can see it. They didn't get to see it live.
Yep. And I'll send you that link.
Yes.
Go-karting thing. Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah, send me that, and I'll send you "Rockin' Robin," the tune.
Yeah, right on.
It's a catchy little tune. Trust me.
Right.
Trust me. All right, buddy. I really appreciate it. Cheers, buddy. Yep. Take it easy, buddy. Have a good day.
No worries. You too.
Cheers, bud. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks, mate. Awesome. Enjoyed that with Bradley. Very good insight. Very thoughtful young man. Puts a lot of thought into his racing, a lot of thoughts into his answers there. And love the passion he's got for his home countrymen, and trying to bring some young riders through from New Zealand and getting them over to Europe. Sounds like he's definitely got a passion for that, which is fantastic. And that'd be interesting to see that. Just to give you an update, I'll share this out on social media tomorrow. All my stuff's recorded and goes onto a YouTube channel, so you can catch up with any of the live interviews. like a recorded TV if you want it. You can watch it in your own time. Got a YouTube channel. You can subscribe to that for free. Motocross and Speedway Memories. Excuse me. There's loads of recorded interviews from up to sort of 9-10 months ago when I first ever started out on this, and doing some Skype recorded ones before I was doing these lives with the fans. Bike competition I've still got that Bradley even mentioned. I've only got about 10 tickets left, I believe it is now, on the Zeb Tortelli JHK Kawasaki replica 250 two-stroke. So if anyone wants to hook me up for a ticket for that, obviously tomorrow evenings from 7 p.m. The bookings will be open for our Motocross and Speedway Memories reunion meeting in September, the 4th and 5th. We're going to be in Whiteway Barton track in Devon. Just got a lot of history with British Championships and the Patrick Trophy. And I did put a video out earlier of BSMA legend himself, Mr. Stephen Holmes, saying that he'll be there and telling you guys to get booked in and stuff. I've got some few more videos to post up about some guys. Really appreciate helping us get it out there, so that's great to get those guys helping us out with that. So yeah, I've only got a few tickets left on the bike. That I will update everyone else on the next sort of live interviews I'll be planning over the coming weeks. I'll keep you all up to date on all my social medias. You can join my Facebook group, Motocross and Speedway Memories. You'll see the old logo there on my mouse mat. Same on the YouTube channel. We're on Twitter. This is on live on Twitter, so you can go through Twitter. We're on Instagram as well, keeping everyone up with the latest news. I've got a website as well, mxandspeedwaymemories.co.uk. Normally got the countdown on the front of the thing to the next live interview, that sort of thing. Keep in touch with all that. So other than that, thank you very much. And I'll speak to you all soon. I'll leave you with my quote that my dad, bless him, always left with me. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. I'll speak to you all soon, people. Ciao bella. Thank you very much. Thank you.